Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini. Now's the time when you should start thinking about maybe having your house professionally decorated for the holidays, or you might want to do this as a business to earn some extra money. They're your complete holiday lighting specialists, meeting all your decorating needs. 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, New York, on Long Island, a local business. 631-957-5106, and the website is liholidaylighting.com. And also brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com. Bit of a nuisance situation. I think that's kind of the best way to describe it. You can see these clouds are streaming northward, keeping things rather overcast and holding temperatures down today, getting them barely into the 70s in some places. And you can also see the sharp back edge of the cloud cover in central Pennsylvania. So from there, west and southwest into the Ohio Valley and the middle and lower Mississippi Valley, we're enjoying a good deal of sunshine. And also you can see a little bit of rotation here. That is the upper feature and a surface low that is now in eastern North Carolina and moving rain to the northeast. The thing is that the western edge of this rain is barely inland of the coast. If you see where the blue is, this is all precip aloft. None of it's reaching the ground. You have to really get into the green colored echoes, and those are still well offshore. It's the western edge of this precipitation shield off the Delaware coast that we're keeping an eye on. That's going to move north-northeast, kind of clip the New Jersey shore. The back edge, I think, gets to about New York City, and then we'll probably see heavier rains across central and eastern Long Island, and particularly into southeastern New England, where I believe there's a fair chance that we could wind up seeing maybe a couple of inches of rain there. Over eastern Long Island, it could be an inch to an inch and a half, but it cuts off very quickly, under a tenth of an inch, though, being forecast, say, for New York City. No measurable precip, just a trace maybe at Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., Baltimore, already pretty much out of it, even out of the echoes that are going on aloft. And, of course, you go back into Pennsylvania and northwest New Jersey and then on up the Hudson Valley. You're just having to deal with the cloud cover today. So this is sort of a nuisance low that's moving north-northeast up the coast. We're going to get it out of the way and then proceed to transition into a very warm to borderline hot and humid pattern as we work our way through the weekend and into next week. As far as severe weather is concerned, there's not a whole lot of it. It's all pretty much in the northwestern part of the U.S. There's a small area of marginal risk in eastern North Carolina and also in northwestern Montana. Over the next couple of days, we're really only looking at areas of marginal risk, and for the most part, those areas are going to be in the western U.S. Here's WPC's 7-day rainfall. That's another thing about what's going on now. Once this low gets out of the way, you'll notice that rainfall amounts are pretty low in the northeast and down into the mid-Atlantic states. We're talking about under a quarter of an inch, in many places under a tenth of an inch over the next 7 days. And if you're in south central or southeastern Pennsylvania and northern Maryland, they've got it all in the color white, and that's the background color, and that's no precipitation at all. Kind of matches up what's going on in the southwest. So here's our surface low from earlier this morning, sitting right on the North Carolina coast between Wilmington and Cape Hatteras. It is going to be moving on up to the northeast, getting a little, let's see if I can get the latest map here. This is the latest one. Is from 8 a.m., so we should get the 11 a.m. surface map pretty soon. That low is going to ride up northeastward and then move on out to the west. You can still see weakening high pressure is holding on, and as we go forward, there's that rain shield tonight, actually this afternoon, forecast by the GFS at 2 p.m., and then by 8 p.m. it's gone, and then you get this surge that comes up during tonight and then pushes to the east. This model's further east than all the others. The NAM actually has the rain back to New York City. I think that matches up with the radar a lot better than the GFS model. And by the way, this is the new GFS, which is coming out right now. So we get this out of the way. There's one more little weak wave that tries to come out from the southeast, but what happens is the high offshore starts to build and the frontal boundary pretty much falls apart. So we're just going to transition into warm and humid conditions for Friday and for Saturday. Very warm and humid conditions over the weekend. Maybe a scattered shower or thunderstorm late Saturday. Little upper air disturbance coming up the coast that moves out. And then I'll throw in the chance that there could be a pop-up shower or storm on Sunday. And then as we move into next week, Monday and Tuesday, it's just going to be a southwest wind, typical August weather, very warm to borderline hot on the humid side, and maybe an isolated pop-up shower or storm. For the most part, I think it looks like it's going to be 99% of you will be rain-free. As far as temperatures are concerned, today obviously having issues because of the clouds, keeping temperatures down in the low and middle 70s at best. Tomorrow will be in the upper 70s to low 80s. Friday will be in the mid 80s to around 90 in some inland spots. And I think as we move through Saturday and Sunday, look for temperatures from the middle 80s to lower 90s for highs, and that should roll along as we head into next week. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, 631-756-1125. And the website is omnitruevalue.com. Wholesale holiday lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, 631-957-5106. And the website is liholidaylighting.com. One last thing to look at, the tropics, and just looking at this satellite loop here, it's been quiet now for the last 3 weeks. After Elsa, the atmosphere seems to have taken a bit of a breather. And we're kind of starting to look for signs to see if activity is going to start to pick up, because we now are into the month of August, and normally we do see activity start to pick up a bit considerably, you see activity pick up, especially as we head toward the middle and latter part of the month. Right now, there are two features that I just want to point out. One is there's an upper low here sitting in the Caribbean, and that is creating strong winds in the upper atmosphere, which would be hostile to tropical cyclone development. And another spot where we have an upper low, and we've been talking about this on the Joe and Joe Weather Show for the last week or so, is right here in the central Atlantic, and that is also creating hostile conditions for tropical cyclone development. If you look at the clouds down further south in the deep tropics, you've got them moving in all different directions. You've got these clouds here going east to west. You've got these clouds here going southwest to northeast. And then you've got strong easterly winds that are coming out off the African coast. So it's just basically a mess. But we are also seeing some wave action. You're starting to see waves coming off the African coast and coming off the African coast north of 10 degrees north. That's usually where you start to see them in terms of the latitude. You don't, if they're further south, they tend not to develop. But when they come off north of 10 degrees north, between 10 north and 15 degrees north, they have a much higher chance of spinning up into something. And the Hurricane Center mentioned 2 tropical waves, but nothing that is going to imminently develop in the next several days. So just a quick check on the tropics. And I wouldn't read too much into the fact that it's quiet there now, there's still lots of time. There's still plenty of time, and we could go from having no storms around to suddenly having a quick 4, 5, or 6 storms develop in the span of about 10 days time. We've seen that happen before many times in the past. Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time, so do tune in to that, and we will see you later.